Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It is Friday. I hope you had a wonderful week. Um, I know I did. I'm definitely excited for the weekend. Work was, work, but should be a good one. We are just a couple days away from Halloween. You celebrate. That's pretty cool. I don't know. Does anybody really celebrate Halloween? It's not really like a celebratory thing. It's much more just kind of experiencing it, I guess. Very interesting. Like, there's no cake involved. Like, we're not like singing a Halloween song together to, set the mood or set the night. It's just kind of you just kind of do what people do. Um, whether that's go out to a party dressed in a costume or that's hang out, watch scary movies, eat some candy, that kind of fun stuff. Um, do a hayride. Do people still do hay rides? I think they do. Hay rides or gosh, what else? A pumpkin patch. Watch Charlie Brown. What is it called? A Halloween Charlie Brown? No, the Great Pumpkin. I don't know what it's called, but Charlie Brown Halloween or something. Great movie. I've seen it a bunch of times. Obviously, can't remember the title of it, which is not great, but that is what it is. I've watched. October is kind of an interesting month because it's like, all right, it's in that mood. The weather's going to get a little cooler. Maybe some leaves start falling, that kind of thing. If you're in that atmosphere, environment, right? Um, us, not so much. I mean, it is extremely, uh, did that light just fall? The light above me just like, I'm gonna have to fix that. But God, that was somewhat terrifying, honestly. But it's brighter all of a sudden. Um, it's very interesting. It's one of those things where it's like, you want to get in the mood for it. Very much like the Christmas season, if you celebrate Christmas or the holiday season. It's very much Charlie Brown the Great Pumpkin. Such a great movie. If you've never seen it, obviously it's a kid's film, but and it doesn't even take very long, so it won't even be a big investment of your time. But I think it's wonderful. It's always fun to watch around this time of year. But this season's very interesting. Like you almost have to. I don't know. For me, at least, you almost have to push yourself into the mood of the season. It's very odd. Like I enjoy being in this mood where things are a little terrifying, a little spooky, but you have to almost like push yourself into it. So all month long I've been watching, some scary movies, obviously some more like horror comedies as well, like not all Hostel Part 2 whatever, but I'm talking, some interesting ones like Eddie Murphy's The Haunted Mansion. That was very interesting. Hadn't seen that before. It's beautiful. Very funny. Had some good moments to it. Obviously, a lot of Halloween horror films have a lot of head scratching moments where you're just like, oh, come on. Like it doesn't suspend your disbelief. Like they make some decisions where you're just like, why are you going upstairs? You're gonna have to jump out a window. Like you're 3 stories up. That's gonna hurt. Like chances are you injure your leg. You know, people aren't thinking very clearly. They're being chased by a guy with a big knife, I guess. But it's a very interesting time. So I've been consuming a bunch of those, trying to get in the mood for it. But yeah, I've got a few left. Obviously, we have a couple days left here. I have a few left on the docket. Um, Ernest Scared Stupid is one of my favorite childhood horror films. I guess you could call it a horror film. It's basically a horror comedy, I guess, or suspense even. But it is Halloween based, which is cool. At least it's centered around that. It's not just some random scary cottage like The Evil Dead, which is also a great one. I would highly recommend Evil Dead Part 2 or the Evil Dead 2, I think it's just called. Better than the first one. The first one obviously is nostalgic and it's got a cult classic, cult following and all that stuff. But the second one is like perfect. They got a little budget, they got a little crazier with it. Like it's definitely my favorite of the Evil Deads. It's got all the gore you could ever want. You know, it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. It's got little moments of levity throughout, which kind of break up the tension, obviously. I think it's good to have those little releases in the horror films. Not too much, though. Otherwise, you become like Marvel, I guess. But Evil Dead Avengers Edition. Let's see, what else? The Exorcist? I mean, that's kind of a classic, I suppose. Yeah, Exorcist is pretty good. I watched the Russell Crowe recent exorcism movie that came out, I don't even know, a couple months ago, maybe. What the heck was that called? I can't even remember. It was a Russell Crowe exorcism movie. Let's check it out. It was not good. There's my review. It was terrible. You know, the ending was at least somewhat interesting. Like, it got really tense all of a sudden. But most of it was just build up, build up, build up, build up. It was super slow. The story was pretty bad, honestly. When I watch an exorcism film, I want it to be believable that this is like an actual, like, exorcism, you know, Catholic priest, maybe multiple Catholic priests going through this, seeing the demon like rip apart, you know, the room and just, you know, cause havoc and all that good stuff. And to have it more, I don't know, traditional in that sense. Like, have it be like a by the book kind of thing, literally by the Bible, by the book kind of thing. And this just kind of veered away from it to a point where I'm like, all right, this is kind of goofy. Like, this doesn't have what I want. This does not have what I want. It's called it's literally called The Exorcism. Original title. Yeah, not good. Yeah, it is. Ooh. 28% on Rotten Tomatoes, 46% on Metacritic. Yikes. I don't even think the fans enjoyed this one. Oh, yeah. 36% fans score. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, no, it was not good. Compels up to a point in this metatextual riff on the possession genre, but the exorcism's greatest sin is ultimately falling back on cliches. Yeah, the whole thing is cliche, but it is a complete waste. Yes, this audience review is spot on. What a waste. Russell Crowe tries. He did try. Like, the acting was good, but man, is the script bad. That is about as accurate a review as you can get. Not sure why he chose this, but it's not good. Yeah, that's exactly it. Not good. But then again, I am one of those people where I think horror films can only go up to a certain level. Like, they can never be excellent. They're usually just kind of good. Obviously, they can be terrible as well, like bad, like that one. But I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the genre. I am glad they exist. They do bring something to the table. Like, it's that other genre where it's like scary, and, you know, not a lot of other genres or films kind of touch on that. So it's nice to have that experience. Jump scares, even. I'm the jumpiest of jump scares. I will jump over everything: music, cats, you know, whatever. Sounds, pots and pans crashing in the movie. I'll just be like, ah. But yeah, it just I don't know. I've never seen an excellent horror film. Maybe I just haven't seen it yet, which is possible. But nothing on my meter or on my measurement has ever reached a level of, like, I don't know, 8 out of 10. It's all just kind of, oh, okay, that was good. It was decent. I don't know. Evil Dead 2 was close. That was very close. That might actually be the highest, honestly. It has its moments of jump scares. It has a ton of gore. So if you're into that, It has the eerie factor you're looking for. And it does have a little levity to it every once in a while. So if you're looking for, a pretty amazing horror film, Evil Dead 2 is pretty good. Pretty dang good. Probably the best I've ever seen. Let's see. Oh yeah, I have a potluck coming up next week. I don't know about your thoughts on potlucks in the office space, or even in school. Even interesting. It's like command performance cooking or baking. You're just like, oh, I'm literally just gonna bring in one of those trays from the grocery store that has like a bunch of tiny sub sandwiches on it, like little sandwich things. Which is fine. But I do have something to bring up about this. I'm looking at the list, right? Everyone signs up on a list to bring in something, correct? And I'm looking at the names. I know the positions, and I'm looking at what they're bringing in, and I'm going to myself, I'm seeing a lot of people who make way more money than I do going for drinks, not alcohol drinks. We're talking just soda and that kind of stuff. Drinks, chips, dips, little snacks, little like finger snacks and whatnot, maybe like candy or something. And I'm just thinking to myself, wait a minute. If you're making more money than most of the people on that list, you should probably go towards the entree section. Just saying. Just saying. Let's be fair. Let's be fair here. Why are we expecting, maybe the new hires or maybe the people lesser down to afford the most expensive parts of a potluck? Like, what? To me, that's not fair. To me, that looks bad. To me, that makes me not want to participate. So I'm kind of stuck going with the entree, and it's just like, come on now. Otherwise, there will be nothing other than like snacks, which, I mean, if I didn't care as much, or I, didn't have kind of that, I don't know what that's called, where you're just like, oh, fine, I'll do it. Whatever that mentality is, I would literally just bring in, another snack or something. But it's just at a certain point, you're just looking at the list going, come on, man. Somebody higher up take the charge on the most expensive items. Somebody. It's just unbelievable to me. That's a little bit of the rave rant from the Discord live for all of you. Let me know your thoughts on that down below in the comments, in the chat, whatever you want. What do you think? Should the people that make more volunteer or voluntarily take over the entree spot? The big items, the bulk items. Like, that makes the most sense to me. You should probably lead the way with that and not, it's unbelievable to me. I usually grab a dessert or hot dish. Yeah, desserts are good. Again, depending on what it is, right? Depending on what it is, how expensive it is to make, etc., or buy. I think it's got to go with how much you make. That seems a little odd to say, like that seems a little, I don't know, wallet checking or something, like I'm checking people on their wallets. But it just kind of makes sense. It just does. That would be like, a sales, one of the people on the front line of the sales taking the sales manager out to lunch and then buying them lunch. It's like, what? No, the other way around. Anyway, those are my two thoughts on that. I just think it's weird. It's weird. If you're in a higher position, you should probably go for the more expensive items. It's usually homemade dessert, not a package of cookies. Yeah, that's a little, you're putting love into that, right? You're putting love into it. But yeah, very interesting thing to kind of view. Whenever I don't enjoy potlucks, but I do enjoy watching people sign up for it. That's fascinating to me. Where people go, what kind of items they want to bring. That kind of lets you in, maybe this person didn't want to do this. And that's why they sign up for like a cheaper thing. Those are my thoughts. Obviously, I've thought about it for a little bit. But, and also, what is this, a gossip hour? What's happening? I usually talk about randomness before I jump in, just kind of, set a little bit of, a podcast feel in a way. You get to know me. I get to know you through the Discord. It's just, but it was very odd. I had a meeting with a superior, right? Going over the day-to-day, standard stuff as you would assume. It went well. Just kind of talking about what I do, how they can help, etc. That kind of thing. I was like, all right, that's nice. A little nerve-wracking just because, whenever you talk to someone who's technically over you, it's always a little nerve-wracking. And then an hour and a half after that meeting, I get called to another meeting by someone higher than them. And then I get told that that person's no longer there or will no longer be there after a certain date. I'm keeping it super broad right now, obviously, for reasons. But I was just like, wait, I just had a meeting with this person so they could get more familiarized with my position. And now they're gone. Like within an hour and a half. Just like, what happened in that hour and a half? What was going on there? Or was this just premeditated? I have no idea, but that was a real head scratcher. I was just like, whenever somebody gets fired or let go or whatever, laid off, who knows? It definitely reminds you about how vulnerable you are in your position, because unless you are the CEO, boss, owner, whatever, part of the board of directors, etc., you are vulnerable at any moment. They could just say, bye-bye. Boy, when it happens right above you, you're just like checking behind you. You're just like, what's going on? What's happening? You get real jumpy, real scared. You're just like, what's going on? So that was basically me yesterday, just trying to figure out what the hell was going on, what's happening. But yeah, there's a lot of things that are completely out of our control, but there's a lot of things that are completely in our control as well. But the stuff we can't control is the stuff that drives us nuts, right? It's very nerve-wracking. But you do your best. You do the best you can do, honestly, and you just kind of go from there. Whatever happens, happens. Roll with the punches. Get knocked down 7 times, get up 8. Right? That is the saying. Just one of those things. Can't control everything, but control what you can control. So try your best. That's all you can do. And go from there. I've had the ups, I've had the downs, and what makes you who you are is how you respond to the downs. Whether you're going to claw back up or you just kind of stay down. That's what makes you you. I would urge you to, if you find yourself struggling to get up from the down, focus on little goals. Little goals. That's kind of how I do it. I just, I think about one little thing I could do that could lead me in a better direction. I just follow it. It's like one of those tracking dogs, like a bloodhound. After he gets a scent, just stay on it, One of those things. It's dedication. Determination. That's the word I was looking for. Determination, not dedication. Although I guess you could dedicate yourself to it. But determination is what I was looking for. But yeah, I'm definitely in that state of, what's happening, looking behind me, boy, that was quick. I'm hoping a lot happened behind the scenes that I didn't see, right? Ooh, that was terrifying news. But anyway, we'll have one more stream until Halloween on Monday. That'll be awesome. Maybe we'll do something a little special for it. I'll find something. But yeah, should be good. We are coming to the end of the year. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that nuts? Like, it seems like the year just started. I don't know what's happening with time. Like, it definitely seems like the year just started. I swear May was like yesterday. But very interesting. Very interesting indeed. We got 5 amazing videos for you today. It's going to be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is what we're going to start off with. And then we're going to head on to something called The Legends. And then for the last 3 videos of the day, we're going to go Goblin, a.k.a. Guardian, the Lonely and Great God. I've never heard of any of these except Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so it should be a very eye-opening experience. I don't think any of them are scary, so you don't have to, hide under a pillow or, do one of these, where you're blocking your vision. So strap in, get yourself a beverage, snack even, maybe a blanket if it's cold, or you just happen to be cold and it's actually not cold, but you're just one of those people that get cold, that kind of thing. If you'd like to request your own videos, head on over to toddreacts.com. Sign up on the season or series tiers, as you can see before you. That is how you can request videos to be on stream. And if you want to join live, you can certainly do so. And we can react to it together. While you're there, check out the winter collection of merch available right now for a limited time until we switch over to the summer collection. That'll be in May, I believe. May or June. Not exactly sure yet. But this just went live October 1st. As you can see, I am wearing the hooded long sleeve tee, as you see before you. I do have this color. Which one did I get? Heather Navy. Heather Navy. Awesome. It is super soft. That is the byline of this long sleeve tee. It is super soft. It's wildly soft. Got a hood on it, obviously. Comes in a bunch of variety of sizes, extra small to 2XL. If you're not familiar with what that is, every item on the store has a size guide. And if you're more of a centimeters kind of person, you can hit that and see the centimeters. You can actually see how big this thing is, or small. It's kind of handy. Excuse me. You can click down here for more details. 100% heirloom combed and ring spun cotton. Heather colors, like this one. 52% cotton, 48% polyester. Regular fit, side seam construction. So you don't have any seams going down the rest of your body, I guess. I believe that's what that means. And with every order at toddreacts.com, quality is guaranteed. Guaranteed. That is no ifs, no buts, guaranteed. If there's a print error or visible quality issue, we will replace it or refund it. Your choice. Replace it or refund it. Quality is guaranteed. Because the products are made to order, literally, as soon as you order it, it goes to the manufacturer and they put it together. We do not accept general returns or sizing related returns. So just a heads up on that. But quality itself is guaranteed on everything you see in the store. So check out the winter collection. Bunch of great items there. I just got the signature hoodie. I just unboxed it on the last stream. If you didn't check it out, go ahead and check it out. And I also unboxed the bomber jacket recently. Amazing. Denim jacket has gotten a lot of compliments publicly. And check out everything else. Amazing stuff. Also a bunch of accessories as well. The pint glass, as you see before you, I do have it full. It does have a Pilsner in it. I will not say the brand because they're not paying me to. But yes, it does work. It holds the beer or whatever else you want to put in there. The phone case, I've showed it off a couple of times. There it is. It's a snap-on case for the iPhone. Comes in all the sizes you can think of. I'm just about, by the way, news here. I'm just about to allow the iPhone 16, 16 Plus, or excuse me, 16 Pro, 16 Pro and the Pro Max. So the 16s are coming. Should be there very soon, actually. I'm going to do that after stream. The insulated tumbler, I sip out of it pretty much every stream. Obviously, as you can tell, I quality test everything. That is just part of the thing, right? I want to make sure it's good to go for me, so it'll be good to go for you. Yeah, so check it out. Check out the accessories. Check out the winter collection. Members of the website save 15%. Every single order. Ships all over the world, as you saw in the ad. And it actually is distributed from all over the world as well. Like, the manufacturers are all over, different countries, etc. It's amazing. Cuts down on shipping time and production time, which is cool. Check out the Todd Reacts YouTube channel. This is probably where you're watching it. The majority of you do watch it on YouTube, so go ahead and subscribe to the channel today. It's literally right here. It's a subscribe button. Go ahead and hit it. You have to join YouTube and sign up for an account. Please do so. It is absolutely free. It takes about 2 seconds. And yes, you'll be able to add to the number of 12,000, over 12,800 subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you that have subscribed. If you do subscribe, I appreciate you as well. It's not really a monetary thing at all. It's literally just, I think the larger that number gets, the more people we're going to have in our community, which is super cool. And that's literally it. Plus, you will not, miss a video, which is handy. So follow, subscribe to all your other favorite creators as well when you create your account. But yes, check it out. Subscribe today. I appreciate you. And last but certainly not least, check out the Discord, which is free and available to everyone. Links are everywhere. It's down below the video description, in the video description. It's on the website, toddreacts.com. It's on the YouTube about section. Like, it's everywhere. It's on Twitch's, I don't even know what it's called, about section maybe? Twitch's about section. There's links there as well. Lots of great people. It's super fun. It's very enjoyable. You will find people that will like what you like and will want to talk about it. It's very cool. Currently, we have 157 members. 157 members in the Discord and growing. And it's been amazing. Truly. It just goes to show that, I don't know, we've built a nice little community here of fans and people who, like discussing things they're into, and everyone's been really nice. It's just been a really positive experience, which is literally what I wanted to set up originally, is I wanted a nice, positive space where we can enjoy what we enjoy. Maybe we haven't seen it before. Maybe we learn about it. That's why we do the information after the videos. Yeah, and it's turned out that way. It's just one of those rare occasions where things just kind of turn out how you want them to turn out. But I'm glad we found each other. And join the Discord, subscribe to the channel. Those are both free and easy ways to make sure you stay a part of the community. And yeah, interact with us. Have fun. Let's go ahead and hop on over to the first video of the day. It is Daisy Johnson and Daniel Sousa. Can't Pretend. This is from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., obviously. Let's go ahead and bring it up and get started. Here we go.
But listen, Daisy's been hurt. Bad.
What did you do? Hydra took a lot of good people from me. Well, yeah, I was lucky. Sousa pulled me out of the wreckage, got us home.
We're going home, Agent Johnson. You hear me?
I'm glad he's here.
I would never hurt her.
Daniel Sousa.
Daniel Sousa.
He's
I
picking
screwed it
Carter's
up a
old
little bit.
partner.
Who the hell are you?
Who I am is on a need-to-know basis.
She's into you. And I'm not even sure if she knows it yet, but pretty soon she'll figure it out. And when she does, watch out. Because when she gets something into her head, she won't stop.
Why do you care?
Because you don't. Hey.
Hey.
You have got to fight.
We're the good guys, I swear!
You again.
Told you we're the good guys. Every time I ask you for help, you say yes.
You need me to bail you out? I'll be right there.
I need you to do something for me.
Of course. Well, what do you need?
Even if I don't ask, you're waiting here to make
Almost looks
sure
like Mark
I rest or
Ruffalo.
whatever.
I
Why?
don't know why I'm getting
Sweetheart?
that from him, but
Who's your new friend? You know, I learned a long time ago not to let somebody do something stupid on their own. I'm going with her.
You coming? This is...
Her fiance. Honey,
Thank you.
for what?
Just being here.
I think we need to go.
Be honest.
Honest? Because when people like you run into those walls,
You do your thing. I got your back.
you should have someone there to pick you back up.
He's a dork. You really are square, aren't you?
Harsh, but yes.
That's really smart. Yeah. Yeah. Make fun of the person who can literally turn you to dust.
Yeah, you can quake me. No, I get it. That's why they call you back. I know you're tired.
My what now?
I know people like you.
There is no way to kill me without killing yourself.
Some of my favorite people are people like you. Focus.
that's quite a strong relationship if you feel absolutely comfortable in being somewhat, I don't know, passive aggressive, whatever, towards somebody who can turn you to dust.
Focus on the greater good, even at your
Obviously,
own
you've been
expense.
building that relationship for a while.
Hey, stay with me.
And you'd like to be that someone?
Not for everyone.
That's your last chance to stay behind. Without fail. Last chance if you...
You can tell she didn't want him to leave.
Didn't know I was gonna do that.
He's got that Nathan Drake costume going.
I'm glad you did.
Excellent edit. Link down below in the YouTube description. I'm going to throw a like on that real quick. That was good. That was very good. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it some much deserved love. That was fantastic. Obviously, you can tell they are very close, right? Extremely close. He feels comfortable to, interact with her. I don't know if you've dealt with somebody who could absolutely obliterate you into sand, but I'm assuming you're going to be a little nervous and apprehensive for certain things, at least for a while. But at any moment, they could just, but obviously they're very close, and it's good. That's really nice. He looks so much like Mark Ruffalo in like a different way, It's like Mark Ruffalo from Wish or something. Let's go ahead and look up some information on this. A little bit more context. That's always great. That's why we do this, right? Quake, which is obviously an alternative name for the superhero name for Daisy Johnson. Daisy Johnson to Phil Coulson. It's funny what can happen when someone believes in you. Agent Daisy Johnson is an inhuman, genius-level hacker and a S.H.I.E.L.D. operative born to Calvin Johnson, not the Detroit Lions retired wide receiver, Calvin Johnson. She was taken away when her mother was murdered by Hydra and raised at St. Agnes Orphanage. under the identity of Mary Sue Poots. Disliking her legal name, she adopted the alias Shyy after she left the orphanage and worked for the Rising Tide, putting her on the Shield's radar. In 2013, Phil recruited her into his team and contracted her as a consultant before she became an official agent during the hunt for the clairvoyant. When Coulson became the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., Shyy aided them in rebuilding the organization. That's big. Look at all these nicknames. Holy crap. Tremors, The Rose, Little Miss Richter Scale. Okay, that one feels negative. Shake and Bake. All right. That just makes me think of Talladega Nights with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. If you ain't first, you're last. She discovered her mother's Cree-based origin and was exposed to the Terrigen Mist, granting her the ability to manipulate vibrations. The activation of her inhuman abilities alerted the attention of other Inhumans, I bet, and Shyy was taken to Afterlife to help her better understand her powers. She was eventually reunited with her mother. Lara played a large role in the Jiaying's vendetta between the reunified S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Inhumans. Assuming her birth name, Daisy became the first recruit and leader for the Secret Warriors. Oh, Lincoln Campbell sacrificed himself. Her boyfriend led Johnson to leaving S.H.I.E.L.D. and becoming a vigilante known as Quake. Interesting. During this time, she came across the mystical. I almost said mythical. Mystical. I was watching Rhett and Link earlier. Across the mystical vigilante known as Ghost Rider, with whom she created an alliance to fight criminal organizations. That's an interesting alliance. Very interesting. Obviously, I'm not going to go through all of this. It's very in-depth. Let's see here. Taken from her family. Found by S.H.I.E.L.D. Encounters with Asgard. Interesting. Kidnapping of Phil Coulson. Agent Shyy becoming inhuman. The afterlife. Wow. This is, you know what I'll say about this? This is so unbelievably in-depth. Wow. Pretty amazing. It's a pretty impressive fan base that put all this together. Obviously, this is not put on by Marvel or I think it was on ABC, Disney. They did not do this either. Pretty amazing. Jiaying to Shyy, everything's shaking already, vibrating at its own natural frequency. This stone, the wood, and the trees, I believe you can learn to sense those frequencies around you and resonate with them, so that not everything is shaking, only what you choose. Vibration manipulation. All existing matter and energy within the known universe vibrate at a specific resonant frequency on the quantum level. Interesting. Daisy Johnson acquired the ability to sense the various frequency vibrations in her environment and manipulate them. Her powers are connected to her heart rate, and as a negative result, she can lose control of her powers whenever her heartbeat increases during stressful situations. Johnson's body is able to withstand enhancing and releasing intense vibrational waves. However, attempting to forcefully internalize or hold back her powers put an excessive strain on her body may lead to internal injuries like ruptured veins, hairline bone fractures. Good grief. When focused, her abilities extend to the point that she can create both force barriers and powerful concussive waves. Whoa. Now that's kind of fun. That'd be kind of neat to do like at the ocean or whatever, where it's not going to hurt anything, you know? Kind of messing around with waves. Concussive blast. I mean, that's very helpful. Wave absorption. Capable of absorbing vibrations as she absorbed an earthquake. What? She also used it in conjunction with her gauntlets. She is able to absorb a larger quantity of vibrations, but can only hold them for so long and must release them, or she risks causing irreparable damage to herself. That's interesting. So she absorbs the earthquake, and then she's got to find out where to go, probably up, to kind of get rid of it. That is so interesting. Force field generation, that's neat. Levitation, that's cool. Master hacker. Very interesting. Master of martial art. Expert marksman. These are former, right? No, these are abilities. Nice. Yeah, she's got pretty much everything you would want, honestly. Daniel, a.k.a. Mark Ruffalo, light. Because when people like you run into those walls, you should have someone there to pick you back up. He's just really supportive. It's nice to have someone in your corner. Eventually, he became a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent and served as the agency's West Coast security chief, while his relationship with Peggy Carter ended. Oh, okay. Okay. I see you. I see you, Daniel. All right. Team faked his death to save him from Hydra, where he developed a relationship with Daisy Johnson. He eventually traveled to the original timeline where they managed to finally defeat the Chronicoms and set off to explore the universe with Johnson as they traveled through space. Happily ever after. Wow. No cool nicknames? None? Abilities. Expert tactician, expert martial artist, marksman. Excuse me. Let's see. Daisy Johnson to Daniel. Nothing seems to faze you. Quote, it all phases me, just maybe not my face. Every time I ask you for help, you say yes. Even if I don't ask, you're waiting here to make sure I rest or whatever. Well, because he has feelings for you. And he's a good teammate, apparently. But definitely heavy on the first one, I would say. Just from what we saw. Definitely from what we saw. Excellent, excellent edit. Go throw it some love. Let's hop into the second video of the day. It is from The Legends. Let me go ahead and bring it up here. It is called The Legends, Look What You Made Me Do, which is definitely a Taylor Swift song. I knew that just from halfway reading that. It is a music video. We will get into this. It does have closed captioning, so I'm going to have to adjust it a little bit for us here. So hang on. Let's get that adjusted so we can actually read the closed captioning, and I'm not blocking it. That would not be good. All right. Here we go. I'm going to read this first. This is actually from the member requested. All these videos are requested by members of ToddReacts.com. I do want to read this first. Just kind of give us an idea. Here we go. Decided to request an older C-drama from 2019 called The Legends, starring Bai Lu. I think I said that right. The lead actress from Till the End of the Moon, which was excellent. The edits I saw of Till the End of the Moon, amazing, stunning, beautiful. All those words, all the words that mean beautiful, all the synonyms and all that good stuff apply. That was unbelievably like awestruck. I was awestruck watching that. That doesn't happen very often. This drama had the budget of 2 nickels and a shoestring. Okay, so a little less of a budget. And the end was more convoluted than it needed to be, but one thing my girl Bailu gonna do is excel at portraying a badass, morally questionable female lead. All right, that sounds great. The budget being 2 nickels and a shoestring, that's pretty amazing they were able to do anything with that. But you know what? It's nice to see that even in 2019, they're willing to put out low-budget stuff because, I've had my gripes with Hollywood and the current state of it and how they just kind of got away from the low-budget stuff. Like, it's there in, like, indie scenes and that kind of thing, but it's just they're not putting out, like, $20 million, $15 million, like, anything like that. Like, that is low-budget in Hollywood world, right? They're not even putting those out, really, I think Longlegs might have been the cheapest in a while. But they need to do more of that. Less of the 200 mil, hundreds of millions of dollars, even upwards to 100, 80, 90. Go for the cheaper ones. So if it does hit it big and it's a good movie and it makes, decent money, you made money. Like, everything doesn't have to be, $500 million. And then you have to get $500 million worth of audience to show up to see it. So it's just one of those things where it's like, maybe less is more. Good story, all that good stuff. That is important. That is extremely important. Let's go ahead and hop into this. I'm going to adjust this light. It'll take like 2 seconds as this is playing. But I will still be watching. It's literally just going to go like this. But I want to pull myself off screen in case I do something crazy. Camera falls down or whatever. But let's get going.
I don't like your little games. Don't like your tilted stage. The role you made me play, the fool. I don't like you. I don't like your perfect crime. How you laugh when you lie. You said the gun was mine. Isn't cool. No, I don't like you. But I got smarter, I got harder in the nick of time. Honey, I rose up from the dead. I do it all the time. I got a list of names and yours is in red underlined. I check it once, then I check it twice. Oh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you just made me do.
All right, there we go.
Like your kingdom caves, they once belonged to me. You asked me for a place to sleep, locked me out and threw a feast. The world moves on another day, another drama, but not for me, not for me.
You can tell it was, the budget was not exactly huge.
But one thing's for sure.
But the choreography is great nonetheless. I mean, it still looks really fun.
You just made me do. I don't trust nobody and nobody trusts me. I'll be the actress starring in your bad dreams. I don't trust nobody and nobody trusts me. I'll be the actress starring in your bad dreams. I don't trust nobody and nobody trusts me. I'll be the actress starring The old tailor can't come to the phone right now. Why? Oh, because she's dead. Look what you made me do.
All right, so there's some CGI in here. It's not terrible, but it's not till the end of the movie. You know what I'm getting from this? Actually, I know exactly the feel of this. I'm getting very strong CW vibes. Low budget, not a lot of time spent on the post effects because they just didn't have the budget for it. But it's still good. It's still a decent story, it looks like. You know, action looks good. Action looks great. Choreography. As long as you nail choreography, the scene is going to be much better. And the camera work, the zoom in, the slow motion, etc. You know, maybe a little shaky cam here and there. You can make it look more high budget than it is, just from how you shoot it, basically.
Just made me do. Look what you just made me do.
Not bad, not bad. Dang. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it some much deserved love. Not bad at all. Obviously, like I said, you can tell that it's pretty low budget. But that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean it's bad. Lots of things that are low budget are still good. Let's go ahead and pull up some information on this. We can figure out a little bit more. Legends. The Legends. Get it right. The Legends. It's got an 8.2 out of 10. 9,000 users. That's not bad. As I said many times before, MDL, my drama list, the reviews, the ratings are always very interesting. Very passionate is what I'll say. So if they didn't like it fully, or maybe they just didn't like an aspect of it, they could literally review bomb it to the point where it's like, what? Like, yeah, you said all these things are great, yet you give it a 0? What? So you got to take it with a grain of salt. But after 9,000 users, and it's still an 8.2, on my list, their 8.2 is probably more like a 10. Honestly, that's what I'm going to assume. Because you got a lot of reviews in there that just don't make any sense. I'm going to assume it's pretty good. So anything over 8 on MDL, I would probably say is worth a watch. While attempting to take her predecessor's, Wanjun's sword, I completely butchered that. Lu Xiaoyao is ambushed by the 10 immortal sects and dies. She mistakenly believes Li, who is her best ally, is related to the incident after he is revealed to be the Demon King's son. Okay. While attempting to take her predecessor's sword, she's ambushed. She mistakenly believes Li, who's her best ally, is related to the incident. Okay, so it's like a friends to enemies kind of thing. That's interesting. 5 years later, Li has taken over the position, the Wanlu sect leader, and Zhao Yao decides to exact revenge. So Lu's coming after him. She, who is now a spirit, wait a minute, what? Possesses the body of a female disciple of the immortal sect. And with the help of the newly gained body, she becomes the direct disciple of Li. Whoa. With the aim of killing him. But things don't go as she planned, when she slowly starts falling in love with him instead. Ayo. Meanwhile, Zhang Wu, an ambitious youth, wants to kill Li and become the sect leader. He is interested in Shyy. What will happen when their lives are intervened? Well, I'm assuming Lu comes to Li's defense. Because she's falling in love with him, obviously. So kind of that revenge turns into love, which turns into defending him, probably, against the people that want to take over. What will happen when their lives are intervened? Will Zhao be able to regain her body back and become the sect leader again? What is the fate of Qin Yan, whose body Zhao possessed? The story of love and hate begins. Interesting. 2 versions available, 56 episodes on TV, 55 DVD and online. Interesting. Related content, Chinese spin-off, A Legendary Love of China. Romance, wuxia, and fantasy. Tags, badass female lead. That's a funny one. Unrequited love. Ooh, reincarnation. Yep. Male chases female first. Love triangle. Oh boy. Free on Viki. You got Bailu. Here we go. We're going to get into some reviews. I'm looking for some positive and obviously some negative, because sometimes the negatives can be kind of enlightening. Name unimportant. Excuse me? What? I usually avoid watching dramas while they are still airing only because I hate sad endings. Well, come on now. There's something nice about having a sad ending every once in a while. But that just happens to be one of those dramas. This just happens to be one of those dramas that I couldn't resist. Watched it with no expectations. Unfamiliar with the whole cast. Didn't do a lot of research. Honestly, I prefer not to do research before I watch something, just because, just let the chips fall where they lie, right? Here's a 7. Interesting. The editing of the scenes and transitions between scenes. Random plot holes, bad CGI. Well, I mean, that's going to come with low budget, right? Random mistakes. I mean, it happens. CGI was bad, but that was quite typical for a Chinese drama. Changes from the novel, major spoilers. The ending, also major spoilers. Such a major disappointment. Interesting. All right. Truly unpolished gem. This review addresses both the original and fan re-edited versions. Excuse me? Fans re-edited the versions? That's interesting. That's unbelievable. So it was recut by fans. Demon in Red. What's going on, Archery? Welcome in. Demon in Red. Zhao is a fun fantasy love where both leads belong to the dark or demon sect. The unconventional good versus evil plot challenges the idea of what is good and what is evil, as the good guys are really the bad guys in this drama. Best thing about it's the sizzling chemistry between the leads. What totally really drags it down is it's littered with fillers. It should be at best 30 to 40 episodes. That made me grumpy and is the main reason for the less high rating. Yeah, it's another one of those where it's like, is it too much? Is it 20 episodes too much? Maybe. Certainly. I don't know. I'm not going to judge it because I haven't seen it, obviously. But I don't mind a slow story. I don't mind it. But the payoff better be worth it. This is a 5.5. Wow. Gave the acting a 9. So this seems pretty balanced here. Poor writing, bad props, horrible editing. Oh, so that's why fans recut it. Interesting. No semblance of plot. Cringy CGI. I don't know. Some of it looked pretty cringy, but some of it also looked okay. But I'm assuming, the ones that didn't look too bad or looked okay was the smaller CGI. So like little things, a little explosion, little force field kind of thing went out. Like that's fine. But when it gets to the bigger stuff, it looks pretty bad if you don't do it right or spend enough money on it. Legends was a pretty bad start. However, the promise of a badass female lead and the snarky personality was the only reason I stuck with it, which is why it's almost criminal how they reduced her kick-ass self to little more than the male lead's sidekick in the latter half. Oh, interesting. So much so that in some scenes, the legendary demoness is nothing more than a glorified damsel in distress whose sole purpose is to stand by ML's side. Speaking of the male lead, oh boy, even with his cute face, oh boy, and pure love, oh boy, he was still pretty much boring, bland, and quite one-dimensional. No match for the somewhat antagonist second male lead, Zhang Wu, who was one of the most interesting characters in the show, being a nasty son of a bitch demon with hilarious moments. He was easier to root for than the male lead himself. Good grief. That's not good. The male lead should be the best written, as opposed to the secondary male lead. My biggest complaint is that the show gave so much screen time to completely irrelevant characters. Oh, geez. That's probably screen time they could have spent building the romance and all that stuff. More of the backstory, maybe. I could count about 4 to 5 storylines which I didn't give a crap about and that were constantly forced on me. So yes, there are some pretty adrenaline-rushing moments here and there, and yes, there is good acting by all those involved, but it's nearly not enough to counter the drag. If you're planning on watching this like I did, my advice, make the fast-forward button your best friend. Oh boy. Oh gosh. When you're on your first watch-through and you're fast-forwarding, that's not good. That tells me you're not spending your time wisely. This is a pretty good review, honestly. She gives props where props are due and is not afraid to critique it. That's very interesting. That's very, very interesting. I thought we were going to get comments on this. Oh, it's a profile. I don't need that. The heck? Doesn't that say 8 comments? Or maybe they've made 8 comments on the website or something. 9.5 for the first 30 episodes. 5 for the remaining. Ooh. So really great, and then just kind of didn't stick the landing, I guess. That's too bad. Drama's fantastic. It's amazing how we can go like this. Positive to negative, positive to negative. There's another 6. So it seems like a decent amount of people are torn on it. After several attempts and many months, I managed to finish the drama. The promise of excellent romance and the awesome leads was what attracted me and was ultimately the reason to watch this. I'm not sure how this drama was, because it was like watching a film project with no direction, aim, and conclusion. Oof. Ooh. That's too bad. It's like the writers themselves didn't know what they were aiming to show and tell. The only consistent thing I found was the male lead's devotion to our female lead. Lead song is quite nice. Interesting. Romance in this drama kept me going. Lovely couple, but poor editing. Well, that seems to be the case, I suppose. If the fans are willing to recut it themselves, that tells you the editing wasn't very good. But interesting. I would say overall, from those that we saw, it seems like quite a few people are torn on it. Less people loved it, as more people were kind of like lukewarm on it. Like it had its bright moments, it had its dark moments, just kind of stuck in between. Which is interesting because it does have a 8.2 rating. So obviously there's a lot of 10s out there. So I don't know. I would say it's definitely worth a watch, but boy, apparently halfway through or towards the end, it just kind of melts, The Legends, 2019 Chinese television series starring Bai Lu. Aired in 2019, obviously. Lu and her grandfather are bound by duty to guard the seal that has kept the Demon King's son in chains. When an intruder barges in, the Demon King's son escapes and falls into the hands of the righteous sect. Zhao saves him and gives him the name Mo. In trying to obtain the sword, Zhao mistakenly thinks that Mo has betrayed her. 5 years later, Lu manages to establish a connection with King, I have no idea how to pronounce that, of the Immortal sect. She returns to Wan Lu's sect, hoping to reclaim her position. She discovers that Mo, the Demon King's son, has reclaimed his name as Li and currently sits at the center of power. Lu uses her attraction towards him and colludes with Zhang with a scheme of her own. Oh, gosh. Secret, that is messy love right there. That is absolutely messy love. Secrets from the past are revealed. Lu realizes who her friends are and enemies are all along. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, you hope there's more to it, obviously, than just, obviously, a romance and trying to get back at someone and get your spot back. Let's see here. Drama received positive reviews from the audience for its unique characters and comedic elements. Oh, there's comedy involved. I didn't even realize that from the edit. As well as its interesting romance storyline. It was also praised for its showcase and emphasis on strong female characters, as well as its positive and inspirational storyline. All right. It won an award. So there's that. They were nominated for Best Actor, Actress, Newcomer. That's pretty sweet. Not bad, not bad. I finally finished The Legends, and here's my comments. Spoiler-ish. The male characters in the show are... I don't even know if I can say this word on Twitch. Or YouTube, for that matter. But let's say the male characters in the show are wimps. It's a word that's almost like wimps. This is the first thing I notice. Even the bad people, quote bad people, will suddenly go weak when facing their partner. And also they'll do anything for their loved ones. The female lead is one badass woman. That I need more in dramas. I know some people hate how her character changes, but I personally love it. She isn't going soft. She grows and learns. Also, the scenes where she said she doesn't belong to Li and Zhang, but she belongs to herself, it gives me chills. Number 3, I'm going to get bash. Bash? That's slang that I don't know what it is. I guess it means I'm going to get real or critical. But Shy's acting is not as good as in AMA. Maybe it's his character. Maybe he's not ready for the cold axe yet. I don't know. So obviously it was a criticism. In the last 5 episodes, the scenes are not well edited. Interesting. I wonder if it was like a timing thing. Like they didn't have enough time to like properly do it. Maybe they just left the production. They just kind of filled it with, people take over or something. Plot is a bit draggy, so I skipped some scenes. Oh, like that one review. It said keep the fast forward handy. And watch it in 1.25 times speed. Oh, no. Oh, no. Nothing too bad because I kind of expect it since it has 55 episodes. If you're watching a television show at faster than normal speed, that tells me you're not really interested in that show. That's wild to me. If you're really sitting there and enjoying it, you're not going to do that. You're just not. I read some comments that the CGI is bad, but since it's my first fantasy C-drama, I'd say it's pretty okay. Honestly, that was my takeaway. It was pretty okay. It had its moments where it was super bad and cringy, and it just looked terrible. But it also had a lot of moments where I'm like, oh, that was okay. That was decent. Smaller things are easier to get away with. I'm not going to comment about the chemistry. They already had dating rumors, so we know what to expect. I just hope their passionate kiss isn't just in mirror. Totally agree with your wimp observation. Male lead here, although strong and powerful without the girl, became a whimpering, love-struck fool by his side. Not complaining, though. Already added to my watch list. Comment that the drama didn't do the book justice. The post-production editing, the post-production editing issues really messed up a lot of the plot. It made it very hard to follow. Oh, geez. So that's why it was recut by fans. There's an excellent English translation of the book that is almost complete. 63 out of 80 chapters already done. And the translator has been consistently updating. Book is not that long and is a fantastic read. 80 chapters seems long. That does seem long. Listening while cooking breakfast. Well, I hope it's a good breakfast, you know? Legends is probably one of my all-time favorite dramas. The lead's chemistry is off the charts, and the female lead is just reppin' powerful women. Like she doesn't depend on anyone. Although she can be annoying the first... Repping powerful women. Chemistry's off the charts. Although she can be quite annoying in the first half of her reincarnation. I'm sure she's just getting used to it, right? And the second half of the drama is a bit draggy. The drama overall is amazing. I love the show despite all the weird editing at the end. It makes me wonder, what the heck is the weird editing? Like, nobody goes into detail about it. If you happen to know, leave a comment. That's the part where I'm like, wait, what makes it bad? Like, how is it terribly confusing and terrible? Yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting. That's the part that kind of makes me, think, like, how bad is the editing at the end? Like, everyone brings it up. Like, clearly it's really bad. I don't even know what that means or what that implies. Maybe I just am not maybe I'm just not much of a, critical thinker while I'm watching movies like that, because I never pay attention to the editing. I don't know if I've ever seen a movie where I was like, oh, the editing in this is terrible. I really don't know. That's really weird. I would assume like the writing, I can pick apart writing. I could pick apart, too shaky a shaky cam, but I don't know about editing. Anyway, let's move on to the next video. I'm going to mess up these names. I know it immediately. It is Shyy featuring Han Soo-ji, Round and Round Goblin original soundtrack with lyrics. This is from Guardian, the Lonely, and the Great God. Yes, I wanted to make sure I got that right. It's a long title. And then I didn't know what was Goblin, because it's like, just in parentheses, I'm like, is that like what it's also called? Is that the name of, one of the episodes? I had no idea. But apparently it's known as both. So, Goblin, Guardian, the Lonely and Great God. Let's go ahead and jump into this. It does have some closed captioning, so I am going to keep it in the small window-like thing, also known as the Goblin. Appreciate it, Rocco Kitty. Go ahead and get this going. Marjorie's cooking breakfast. I'm drinking a beer. Obviously, different time zones. You watched it 5 times? Oh my gosh. Something tells me the editing on this doesn't get criticized, because I'm seeing some really creative shots. Cinematography looks pretty good. I've got in about 7 rounds of it. Wow. CGI is not the greatest so far. That was pretty cool. Kind of amazing. I literally said it's not great so far, and then it blows my mind. It's almost like I knew it was coming. Coming through.
저자가 인도로 다니라고 지금 새 덕담을 한 것 같은데.
덕담이 고마우니 해코지는 않겠네. 새해 복 많이 받게.
우린 멋지니까 해피 뉴 이어. 의로운 친구세.
요즘 세상에도 저런 친구.
You know, I wonder if... Oh, it doesn't have closed captioning. I'm like, what are they saying? I don't know.
친구들이 아름답구나.
All right. Excellent. Excellent edit. I'm going to throw that like. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it a like of your own. Check out the channel. Subscribe if you would. And yeah, that was very nice. Nicely put together. Good song. I don't know. It kind of felt, you know, watching this and reacting to it is very much a inquisitive moment, right? You're trying to figure out what's going on, etc. Just kind of taking it in, and it's interesting. It is very interesting how the song just kind of matched that beautifully in a way. Like, I don't know, something about it was also whimsical. It just hit a nerve that was very nice. Excellent edit. Let's go ahead and bring in some information and find out a little bit more. CGI was, I would say, okay, because it had that moment that was just beautiful. It had a great moment there. Guardian, the Lonely and Great God is a South Korean television series. Aired 2016 to 2017. Final episode recorded a 19% nationwide audience share. That's wild. It must be good. Holy crap. That is so many people. The song is part of the scene in the show of walking down the street. Oh, perfect. Well, dang, that's a great song to have for that. 19% of the nation of South Korea watched this ending. Oh my gosh. Making it the 7th highest rated drama in Korean cable television history. That is so big. It received critical acclaim and became a cultural phenomenon in South Korea. I bet everybody was watching that. Like 20%. I'm sure at work, at school, whatever, the bus, waiting in line somewhere, you were talking about this show. Or it could probably spark a conversation very quickly. Series won numerous awards. That's not surprising. Kim, a decorated military general from the Goryeo? Oh my gosh, I'm butchering the heck out of that. Dynasty is framed as a traitor and killed by the young king. Years after his death, he is cursed by the Almighty to stay immortal forever. Framed as a traitor and killed. And then cursed to stay immortal forever. What? Enduring the pain of seeing his loved ones die as punishment for the soldiers he killed to protect his country. Yikes. What? He's framed as a traitor and, killed. And then he has to go through that? What the heck? Right off the bat, that makes me super sympathetic to Kim, which is probably the goal. He becomes an immortal goblin, helping people with his powers and being a kind man in spite of his grieving past. The only way to put an end to his immortality is the goblin's bride, whose aid in pulling out the sword will end his painful immortality. Oh, that was the sword in the back thing. Gotcha. G is a bubbly high school student who remains cheerful and hopeful despite her tragic life and can see ghosts, though she tries to ignore them. I see dead people. Sixth Sense reference. She summons the goblin by chance, and then their fates begin to entwine. The goblin's nephew, Yu, leases the goblin's house to a grim reaper, and the two end up living under the same roof. G starts working a part-time job at a chicken store run by a charismatic young woman, Sunny. I'm not exactly sure what that has to do with the main plot. As the lives of Kim, Grim, G, and Sunny, a deeper story unfolds, as they are not just strangers who met by chance, but people with deep-rooted relations. Interesting. Okay. A little bit more to it than just, I don't know why I immediately thought of like Jersey Shore, Big Brother, all these shows that put people in a house together and the drama unfolds. Oh my gosh. Love Island, etc. 939-year-old immortal goblin. Yeah, I'd say he saw all of his loved ones die. And their loved ones, and their loved ones, and their loved ones, and their loved ones. It's a drama, a comedy, and a romance all rolled into one. Nice. I wasn't expecting comedy, honestly. Comedy is a little surprising. Oh yeah, it's the opening theme. Round and Round. There you go. Yeah, I guess it is comedy as well. Dang. Oh, it's just a picture of Charlie Chaplin looking sad as ever. That's funny. Talk about age gap romance. Yeah, I'd say so. 939-year-old immortal. 19-year-old high school student. Okay. So how do we feel about age gaps of quite a few years? Hundreds of years. I don't know. I don't know. That's funny, though. Good grief. That makes you think, doesn't it? In a not so great way. Let's see here. Obviously a well-rounded cast. Got some loan sharks in here, bus passenger. The crew was awarded a special vacation to Thailand after the end of the drama. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad. Get to go on vacation afterwards. Free vacation. That's pretty sweet. Led to parodies of the dramas on various social media sites, notably by both celebrities and political figures. Drama also sparked various fashion trends. Interesting. Items and accessories worn by the cast members, such as the Lanvin coat worn by Gong Yu, Lancome lipstick, and fedora saw an increase in sales. There was also an increase in visitors at the various filming sites. I think that happens with a lot of things. They become like a cultural phenomenon. Despite its success, here we go, Guardian was criticized for its several consumer product placements, which drew an estimated $2 to $4 billion Or excuse me, not dollars, Korean wons from revenue. Dang. Oh gosh, was it obnoxious, like in your face product placements? TV and cultural critics also criticized some aspects of the drama, such as the Cinderella complex feature in the series, where female lead is able to summon the male lead who has supernatural powers. Furthermore, the female lead portrayed a poor high school student attracted to the male lead's rich 30-something man. Yeah, that's a little... That'll make your skin crawl a little bit, which the show poked fun of when a classmate described him as a sugar daddy. Okay, well, at least it made fun of it. It was self-aware. The drama also criticized for its overdramatic plot. Well, it is what it is. Became the first cable drama to surpass 20% ratings. Wow. That is so incredible. You know what's awesome about this? Look at these numbers. The average audience share, it went up and up and up all throughout the show. That's crazy. I'm assuming it was word of mouth, but that is a wonderful sight to see. Obviously, the specials were a little less, but wow, did it go up? It went from 6% all the way up to 18.6. Dang. Almost week to week, it went up. That's crazy. So the two guys from the video were the Goblin and the Grim Reaper. Very interesting show. Obviously, look at, oh my gosh, look at the awards. Look at the awards. Oh my gosh. If it didn't win, it was nominated. That's unbelievable. Very cool. Guardian, the lonely and great god Goblin stands the test of time. There they are walking down the road. Just finished watching for the 4th time. All right. We got the author beat here between Ardry and Rocco Kitty. I was happy to find myself just as enthralled with this K-drama classic as when I watched it the first time. So, what's going on, Andy? Welcome in, welcome in. I loved Goblin when I watched it by myself sometime within the first 3 months of watching K-dramas in 2020. I loved Goblin when I rewatched it several months later with my daughter. Became her new favorite for a time. Then about a month ago, I was looking for a go-to-sleep drama. That's a K-drama I've seen previously that helps me clear my brain when I go to bed. I can set my TV timer and allow myself to fall asleep because I already know what's happening. It had been 3 years since I'd seen Goblin, but it was so good I found myself watching it during the day too. That backfired, and I could not help but notice how well it holds up even 3 years later. Unfortunately, I can't say that about every K-drama I've rewatched. One thing I noticed when I rewatch a K-drama is the fact I always see things I missed before. Obviously, I'm going to skip over a lot of her personal life. I just want to keep it to the Goblin. Like all my favorite K-dramas, Goblin has a fantastic ensemble cast, and the character development is stellar. Gong Yu will have you laughing and crying. Also enjoyed seeing a more mature Yu as Sunny, who won Best New TV Actress for her role in Secret Garden. Location, location, location. Obviously, beautiful settings. I'm not going to go too deep into this because I will get lost. And then we'll be here 3 hours from now. Easter eggs. That's pretty cool that they tie in Easter eggs from other shows and whatnot. That's awesome. Another fun catch this time are the BTS and Stray Kids references. Cool. Romance of the century between the Goblin and the Grim Reaper is epic. Masters of slow-mo. K-dramas are also the best when it comes to using slow motion. Killer looks, the fashion, original soundtrack, just mastered. The romance. Oh, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Here we go. Goblin and Grim Reaper got me laughing all the time. Let's talk about that elephant in the room. The Goblin is 939, and G is 19 when they meet. She's still a student and a minor. He has the physical appearance of someone in his mid-30s. The age difference between Kim and Yoon is problematic for many viewers. I get it. I do. When it comes to dating, I generally feel it's best to let people live their 20s without the undue influence of dating someone significantly older, because the younger person should have the opportunity to discover life on their own. I think we undergo most changes during that decade than at any other time throughout our entire childhood. I would say between 10 and 20 is probably, I would say more so than 20 and 30. 10 and 20 is how you kind of become into an adult. Like that's how you are. Like you're going literally from child to adult, basically. 10 to 20. 20 to 30 is more for like your career, what you want to do, where you want to live, how you want to live. I guess, that kind of sets the tone, or it kind of sets, your sail. But your foundation is 10 to 20. Because you could, go from a goth kid to a jock or something. Like you can do a lot of transformation between 10 and 20. 20 and 30 is less of a transformation. You're just kind of picking your direction. Where you're going to go, where you want to live, what you want to do with your life, that kind of thing. Getting established. So I would say 10 to 20 is probably more important. Let's see here. Of course, the power dynamic is generally less in favor of the person in their 20s who can she's not even 20, she's 19. Unduly influence their choices. Once you're 30 plus, significant age gaps with older people aren't the same because you've had enough time to experience life on your own. This is just my opinion, and there's always exceptions, of course. There's always exceptions to the rule. But yeah, that 939 and 19, that is, physically he might be mid-30s, but mentally, 1,000. That is... I don't even know how to comprehend or put my mind around what you would be like at 1,000. Not even close. Not even close. I don't know, I have no idea what the mentality of a 1,000-year-old is. That is so weird. One of these exceptions is the relationship between Kim and G. First of all, it's pure fantasy. Well, of course. I mean, they're not real people. The actor isn't literally 1,000 years old. Nothing about this story is real. The guy is not 30-something. He's nearly 1,000. Secondly, Yoon has been seeing and talking to ghosts her entire life, including her dead mom. Ooh, spoiler alert. When Yoon was only 9. Oof, that's rough. That is so rough. Losing a parent as a kid has got to be brutal. She also had to care for herself when her mom died because she moved in with her abusive aunt and cousins. Unfortunately, numerous circumstances in Yoon's life forced her to grow up quickly and put her at a maturity level much higher than someone her age, even when she was young. That's still less than 1,000, though. Like, considerably. I feel your life depends on your decisions between 20 and 30. Yeah, I would say so. I would say your life depends more on 20 and 30, but who you are as a person between 10 and 20 is pretty big, I'd say. Probably more of an interior decade than the 20 to 30, which is more exterior, where you're going, where you live, what you want to do professionally, relationships. It's more of an external period found. See here. Thirdly, both Yoon and the Goblin were initially uncomfortable with the fact she was fated to be the Goblin's bride, so they even acknowledged it. Okay. He seems more uncomfortable with it than she is. I saw nothing predatory about his behavior. If anything, I saw them both going out of their way to protect each other. As the bride, all she had to do was pull out the sword. They didn't even have to be married, but since she was unable to grab the sword the first time she tried, it does seem like there needed to be genuine feelings between them for her to break the curse of immortality. We see their feelings for each other gradually build. It was pretty wholesome. I feel it's tastefully done. And they waited until she was 20 before they had a real kiss. Age gap storyline being an issue for many made me think of the Virgin Mary. Interesting. I'm not even going to read this sentence. Oh my gosh. I'm not even going to read that sentence. I read that in my mind. I'm like, ooh, yikes. Goblin is hard matched when it comes to the love story. I haven't even mentioned the Grim Reaper and Sunny. Even though these are fated relationships, it doesn't feel forced. Pretty good. The fact that they made fated relationships not feel forced. You saw what I highlighted? Yikes. Lastly, when I asked my nephews if they would like to write about their thoughts on the Goblin for this post, I was pleased when the 14-year-old immediately said yes. Wow. Obviously, I'm not going to read that. But very interesting. We're going to see just a little tasting of the interactions between some of the stars. Are you drunk? They seem really good together. That's amazing. That's really funny. Gosh, it's when you're around people for that long and you're just kind of enjoying the other person's company and you get to work with them and all that stuff, it's not surprising that actors can get pretty close to one another. I mean, obviously we're aware of some actors getting into relationships together, right? Tom Holland, Zendaya, etc. Wasn't it Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie? Yeah, he broke it off with Jennifer Aniston to be with her because of, what movie was it? Mr. and Mrs. Smith or something like that? Yeah. So obviously you can get pretty attached to people being around them all the time. And even, I guess, doing like fake scenes, you're reading somebody else's words, but you somehow spend a lot of time with the person and you just get, attached. So it's like, it's not surprising. They probably went out for drinks and went out to eat together and practiced their lines. So they probably got super close. The Avengers gang, yeah, absolutely. Just finished Goblin's Guardian, and I'm disappointed, confused. Interesting. Okay, we got some differing opinions here. I always like to check out, maybe not negative, but criticisms, because I think it just kind of rounds out the picture. Yes, it's obviously good to be a fan. You don't want to watch something you don't like. But I think it's always interesting to get people's opinions that do love it towards any sort of like criticism or where it could have done better, etc. I think it's always interesting, and I always love reading your comments, discussing that and going at that directly. I think it's fascinating. I just finished watching Goblins. I had it on my list as I had heard it was one of the best dramas. It was probably the drama that took me the longest to get through as well, and I found myself confused at the end, not understanding how certain things came to happen. Maybe with some help, I can understand things and at least be able to look back on the drama with better feelings. That's where you all come into play. The good. Smart to start with the good. Very smart. So it's not all criticism. There's a little bit of criticism or confusion here. I really like the relationship between the ML and the FL. Although it at first comes off a bit weird sibling-like due to the age gap. I'm sure it does. And it sounded like he was apprehensive at first. Their chemistry with one another is so good that you move past it. The Reaper character was also very well written, and he was probably my favorite character in the show. Story felt very original. The clothes were amazing. Soundtrack was great as well. The bad. Confusing. These parts specifically. I still don't understand how the mark on the FL's back began to disappear and then how it magically came back at the end so she could see ghosts again. Where was the frozen wasteland that the ML ended up in after he finally died? I didn't get that whole scene whatsoever. I also don't understand, was he just called back because she blew out a candle? Were we supposed to imagine she hadn't done that for the last 10 years? I also don't understand how her memory just came back so quickly. I thought it had to do with the pills, but it didn't. You'd think God's memory wiping ability would be stronger. Are we also to assume that it removed him from every picture they took together as well? Just like there were a lot of gaps. So the ghosts can't make contact with normal people, but they can seemingly attack the FL. Even if she can't see them and has lost that ability, this didn't make sense either. I feel like there were other instances of either inconsistencies or just things that were never fully explained, all mostly towards the end. Gosh, why is it always towards the end? And finally, product placement was really bad. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh gosh. Were they doing a scene and then all of a sudden they were just like, the pint glass on toddreacts.com. Members save 15%. Anyway, and finally, product placement was really bad. The watch one at the end was so bad I almost died. LOL. Speaking of which, what's that water-looking beverage they seem to drink in every cinema? I think it has a green cap and white label on the bottle. That's funny. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think and if you can help me reconcile consider the inconsistencies with things I may have just missed. Thanks. I actually don't remember the product placements. Dang. Well, it seems like some people do, like a lot. Nice advertising. You know, I think I'll just sprinkle it in a little. I'm not going to say anything about the product placements. I'm literally just sitting here like, boom, 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 boom. Like I'm literally a product placement at this point. I lost my voice yesterday night. Oh, dang, that stinks. All right, so that was interesting. Ooh, we're going to get some responses here. Here is how I understood that. Hope it'll help. Although I watched it a couple weeks ago and I don't know it by heart yet. It started to disappear because they postponed taking the sword out. So basically her existence in the mark was no longer needed. Although I don't remember any scenes showing that it was back. But true, bottom line is she could see ghosts again. And I didn't catch how that happened. Wait a minute. That's not explaining anything. Wait a minute. That person's just as lost. I can answer some of your questions. Mark started to fade due to the number of threats Yoon encountered. Kidnapping, almost pushed off a balcony, etc. The mark called for Kim in lieu of blowing out a flame. I'm not sure how she started seeing ghosts again. Her abilities came back. That person's just as lost. The phone case. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, taking a call. Yep. No, I'm on stream, though. No, I'm just showing off the phone case. Okay, bye-bye. Kim and Yoon had that written contract where B will appear before A on the first snow, but as viewers, we know he will only appear if she blows out a flame. I guess those two criteria had to happen simultaneously. Handwritten contracts override God's decisions in K-drama world that is. Ending was very confusing because they cut out a lot due to time. Interesting. And the drink they're having towards the end, I believe it's aloe water. She hasn't blown a candle in 10 years. It was confusing. Hey, you know, some people don't like candles, I guess. To summon him, she has to blow out a candle while thinking about him. Oh, that's why she accidentally summoned him when she was grilling the squid outside barbecue olive chicken in one of the earlier episodes. She was thinking about him and got distracted. And the squid caught on fire and she blew it out without thinking and he appeared. Oh. She has to blow out the candle on the first day of snow. Okay. Interesting. Might be because it's very common in Asian dramas, so I probably tuned it out. Yeah, that's probably it. I just couldn't get over it when I was watching Bad Buddy. I know that's how they pay for the show, certainly. They get money off of that. But it was unreal. It was pretty unreal. That makes me think of when Game of Thrones had that Starbucks cup of coffee accidentally in the scene, and then they erased it in post, as they say. This is the singer. Hazy, I'm assuming. South Korean rapper, singer, songwriter, composer, and producer, currently signed to P Nation. Was inspired by the name of an American rapper, Angel Hayes. Known professionally as Rose. I have never heard of this person. Wow. Must be kind of indie, I guess. But instead of her using the same English spelling, she decided to use Hazy instead of Hayes. Or I guess it's Hayes. Because that was the spelling that came to mind. After making her debut in 2014, gained attention after appearing on the second season of South Korean reality show Unpretty Rap Star. I'm sorry, what? Contestants compete with each other to get a chance to participate in the new song that the producers made. Why is it called Unpretty Rap Star? Unpretty Rap Star. An icebreaker where, let's see, do a cipher, right. Series of one-on-one rap battles, right. Interesting. To give it a cool image. All right. I'll just go with it. Shortly after, her breakout hit Star reached the top of the music charts. Dang. 33 years old. Been active since 2014. Obviously, being able to do the opening for this, Goblin, has got to be amazing. Won a couple awards. Discovery of the Year, R&B Soul Artist, Female Vocalist, Best Female Vocal Performance. Nice. Pretty cool. Dang, it's won a lot of awards. Very cool. CJENM releases official apology, an explanation for Goblin original soundtrack controversy. Whoa. While TVN's Goblin has officially ended, the drama's original soundtrack has been met with some controversy. The issue first arose when viewers realized that there were two singers for final original soundtrack and opening track Round and Round. Viewers liked the Goblin original soundtrack so much that when the track was released, they expected to hear the voice of Han Soo-ji, who sang the opening. However, they discovered that rapper-singer Hayes sang most of the song, while Han Soo-ji was only a feature artist. I mean, that seems like a weird controversy. You know what I mean? Not like the typical Barbie girly vibes kind of thing. I gotcha. That's what I think. I've only seen some clips because of G-Idol's leader and main rapper, Seon. Oh, okay. As well as main producer. That seems like this controversy, big time quotations on it, doesn't seem like much of a controversy, honestly. An argument soon arose between fans and viewers that only grew after Han Soo-ji posted a curious message on her Facebook saying, as a singer, I don't have a face. As Goblin is popular, everyone in their related companies are probably sprinting to ride on the wave, but I am just the way I am every day. In response to the controversy, Hayes also posted a message on her personal Instagram saying, I've never done anything shady, and I don't plan on doing so in the future. We are currently in a situation where we're waiting to get feedback on the featuring notation. I haven't stolen anything from anyone. What the heck? All right, here we go. Meanwhile, CJ E&M released an official apology and explanation. This is what we need. First of all, the full versions of this song was written by music director. Of course, it wasn't even written by either of them. Before the broadcast began. It was then chosen for the drama's title video. In order to have an opening with impact, Han Soo-ji was chosen to record the first 50 seconds of the song. Got it. That makes sense. They wanted to have the main person sing it, but they only needed, 50 or so seconds to get through the credits, the opening scenes. But ever since he wrote Round and Round, music director Nam had another voice in mind for the rest of the song. So if you're doing the original soundtrack, why don't you just record a full version with Han on it? You know what I mean? Just do two versions. The actual version and the fan version, if you will. But ever since he wrote Round and Round, blah, 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 because there were requests to release Round and Round, Hayes participated in singing the rest of the song. This was the song's original conception at the time it was written. The opening contains two measures that are different because the song needed to fit the length of the broadcast title video. Right. But other than that, Han Soo-ji's part was included without any modifications. Her 50-second part was not released separately because the full 50 seconds were featured in the opening. However, we will take into account... Oh, gotcha. So it's a controversy that... Oh, okay. Because Han Soo-ji is singing first and, get the first 50 seconds. They're like, why is she the featuring on this song if she did the first 50 seconds? Because usually it's the star of the song singing first, and then the feature goes next. I got it. Yeah, we got it. We got it now. Just had to think it through. Yeah, I get that. That's a little weird. That is a little strange, honestly. However, we'll take into account the opinions of the viewers and consider releasing the 50-second version of the part. We would like to deeply apologize to both Han and Hayes, who were confused during the process. We're also sorry for not satisfying the viewers. Thank you. What are your thoughts? All right, here's my thoughts. They should have just recorded two versions. Because if Hayes is doing a concert, right? Obviously, Han Soo-ji is not going to be there for every single concert. She's not going on tour with her. So just do one full version for Hayes to do, and then just do one full version for Han to do. And don't release the Hayes version on the soundtrack. There you go. Done. Next. That makes more sense, right? Because the fans of the show are going to want to hear Han Soo-ji sing the entirety of it. And I'm sure she would do it, for sure. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, it would make sense to do... I guess you could do the official version, call it the official version, and put it on the soundtrack, but I don't know. If people are buying that, they're a fan of the show, right? Mic drop. There we go. There's my mic drop without dropping it. Yeah, that's interesting. Supernatural bromance. Currently rewatching Goblin and reliving the magic. Love this particular bromance moment with Goblin using his fire to cook the egg, while Grim Reaper uses his chilling abilities to ice the beer while they are commiserate together about their plights of life. I giggle at the same way they position their arms and lean towards the side. Those two are a definition of bromance. Oh yeah, that's kind of funny. Well, they've obviously spent a lot of time together. If you've spent a lot of time with anyone together at all, you'll notice you kind of take on some of their mannerisms, like certain sayings they have, certain words they use, certain actions they perform, whatever, sounds. Like, it is odd how we kind of mimic each other if we spend a lot of time with each other, but it is what it is, right? Very strange. But yeah, clearly they've spent a lot of time together. This was a hilarious scene with each one displaying their abilities. Banter, iconic walk for the green onions, and their witty dialogues was what made that show more funny. Goblin is clearly a show where bromance is greater than romance. This binge just over the weekend brought me so much joy. Romance was much better than the romance in this show. That's awesome. That's cool. It's still popular after approximately 6 years. That was 2 years ago, so 8 years. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's interesting. That's very, very interesting. Let's go ahead and hop over to the next video. It is, I think I read too much for that one video because we have another 2 Goblin videos to go. This is Guardian, the Lonely and Great God, Goblin, aka official trailer. So this will be interesting. This has 2.1 million views. Came out 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Oh my gosh. And it's still popular. That's amazing. Let's go ahead and check it out.
아저씨 귀신이잖아요. 제가 귀신을 보거든요. 아저씨 도깨비예요?
나는 여태 이렇게 살아있고 편안하지 못하였네. 너 대체 뭐야?
제 입으로 말하긴 좀 뭐한데 전 도깨비 신부거든요. 맘 먹었어요, 제가.
뭘?
저 시집 갈게요, 아저씨한테.
Okay, yeah, that's a little awkward. That's a bit awkward. Now I see why he was a little hesitant.
나 아무래도 요정인가 봐요. 팅커벨.
Oh, isn't the fall just beautiful? Look at the color on the trees. It did? That's funny.
무인년 을묘월 김요일 08시 32분 사망.
Yeah, that definitely seemed a little soon.
맞으시죠?
That is a thick ring.
내가 먼저 집었잖아. 아, 그렇다고 뭘 울어? 일단 통성명부터 하죠.
내 이름을 알아야 전화를 할 거 아니에요? 반가워요. 써니예요.
She's got quote unquote spunk.
내 집에 어쩐 일로?
The ring is not ringing for me.
들어왔어 삼촌.
빈방 많으니까 써. 내
It's
집이다 생각하고.
that ring is as thick as like one of those like aura rings or whatever, the exercise rings. That is wild. I feel like your other fingers would be like spaced apart awkwardly.
꺼져! 저는 마지막에 마지막까지 끝방 삼촌의 편에 서겠습니다. 진짜로.
네가 죽였냐? 그러면 굉장히 무례한 표현이야. 부주의한 도깨비.
무개념한 저승사자.
엄마 깜짝이야.
너야?
뭐가요?
날 불러낸 게 너냐고. 거봐 너야.
아 깜짝아. 나 알았어요. 어떻게 부르는지 알았어요.
Honestly, that's kind of handy.
아무래도 계속 부를 기세야.
I feel like it looks like the candy diamond. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, what are those called? Oh no. The pops, whatever pops. Ring pop. I mean, that's such an easy name. How did I not remember that? Ring pops, yes. Oh my gosh. Here, let's quick bring it up. Let's quick bring it up real quick. Just in case. There we go. Classic. You know what's funny? I've never actually tried one of these. They've been all the rage for years, and I still have never tried one. They're definitely less of a rage at this point, but it is what it is. Anyway, back to it.
언제 어디서든 지적이고 빈틈없는 모습이고 싶어. 그럼 이 옷이랑 이 책은 어울려? 이 LP가 나, 이 CD가 나.
요새 애들 다 파일로 들어.
Right.
야, 이 그림이나.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Part of this is going to be funny because he's so
아,
old.
제발 집중 좀 해.
And he's trying to relate.
입을 옷이라고 생각해. 그럼 식을 거야.
뭐지?
너 멋져 뭐 최고 이거잖아. 그러니까 그거 해야지 내가 나가지.
그러니까.
대사가 뭐냐고?
이쯤이면 누가 크게 읽어줄 때가 됐는데.
멋있어. 다시 해.
멋있어. 막 누구셔 최고.
That's funny. I'm starting to see the banter and why it's good. Excellent. 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 Let me go ahead and boom. It's 5 years old, but I'm still throwing it a like because it was good. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it some much deserved love. Very interesting. That gave me more of what it's like, and it's very, very cool. It's got a little bit of humor to it, you know? But I think him trying to relate to her is more adorable than predatory. I know at first I'm like, ugh, 939 to 19, ugh. But the interactions are very wholesome, very interesting. He's trying to relate, be more relatable. He's not used to technology, etc. And it's just kind of interesting. I can see why they love the bromance more than the main couple. Yeah, absolutely. And that's, you know what? They probably a lot of people shy away from the main couple because of that age gap and the awkwardness of it. But those two together, that is very interesting. Very interesting. Oh my gosh. Speaking of which, who knew a bromance between Grim Reaper and a goblin would be just as amazing as the main couple? And the marrying thing? Yeah, exactly. There they are. Surprisingly, I avoided this K-drama for a long time, even after hearing so many good things. I don't know if it was the title or the premise. Title's not great. I'll say that. Title is not great. Guardian, the Lonely and Great God, not a good title. Goblin is short and sweet. It's fine. But yeah, Guardian, the Only and Great God, not a great title at all. Way too long. Doesn't really give you much sense, you know? I don't know if it was the title or the premise, but I wasn't sure if I would like it. Upon finally giving this drama a view, I regretted waiting so long and instantly found a new favorite. Chemistry between all the members of the cast, the beautiful sets, locations. I mean, I made note of the fall, colors on the trees. It looks beautiful. We don't even have that yet, because it's still so hot. Come on, fall weather, get here, please. As well as the immense range of emotions in the storyline has made this a fantastic show to watch. This is one of those rare shows that sucked me in instantly from the very first hauntingly beautiful tones of the title music. I never thought the much controversial title music. I never thought that I was much of a fantasy gal, but this show proved me wrong. That's pretty good. If a show can suck you into it immediately, that's pretty impressive. Maybe it's the translation. Maybe. Yeah, that's a beautiful setting right there. Wow. Story, 8 out of 10. The story, admittedly, I was not drawn to initially. I never thought I would be interested in or like a show that fell more into a fantasy genre. Well, dang, author, you got to get into fantasy. It's great. Fantasy, sci-fi, those are all amazing genres. Fall colors are here already and lots of leaves on the ground. Yeah, I bet. I actually drove through Kentucky and Tennessee during fall color season with the big hills and mountains and everything. Stunning. Oh my gosh. It was a beautiful sunny day, not a cloud in the sky, and there was just colors as far as you could see in like mountains and like hills and stuff. It was so beautiful. So beautiful. It was one of those moments where I'm driving and I'm looking around and I'm like, dang it, I wish I wasn't driving so I could actually like take this in. It was one of those awful moments where you're like, no, I want to pull over on the highway, but I don't want to, die. This is a tale of a 939-year-old goblin who was cursed to live an eternal life watching his loved ones perish over and over. Boy, that would be rough. Girl who Kim saved when she was still in her mother's womb and who many say is the goblin's bride. Yeah, that's a beautiful scene right there, too. It was filmed in South Korea and, Quebec, Canada. Nice. Panorama was very beautiful. Mm-hmm. Story was fabulous, kept me engaged each and every episode. Well, that's what you want. There was drama, romance, comedy, fantasy, and some action all wrapped into one story. On top of the great narrative, there are many scene locations that are breathtaking. And the OST is rich, melodic, and haunting, making this drama beautiful on several levels. The only thing that gave me a little bit of a pause, and the reason I gave the story an 8 out of 10, is I did find the here we go again. Did find the age gap between the characters at the beginning of the story to be a bit uncomfortable. While nothing inappropriate was going on, it just came off a bit weird at first. But as there is a time jump in the story later on, this is only for a small portion of the drama. Yeah, it seems to be a overwhelming take at this point. Characters, 10 out of 10. Characters in the show were fabulous, written amazingly, with deep stories and complex personalities and emotions, played by excellent actors. Gong Yu played the distinguished, powerful, and intelligent goblin exceptionally. You really did feel like he possessed the wisdom of 900 plus years on the earth and could see the strength of his power behind his controlled demeanor. Yeah, that was one thing I kind of noticed while watching, is the fact that being alive for 1,000 years probably makes you very stoic. And seeing your loved ones die over and over and over, it probably makes you very internal. So he was extremely reserved. Quiet confidence is what comes to mind, seeing his character in just a couple scenes that we saw. Kim brought the bright and cheerful personality to life. You felt for her every time something horrible happened, but couldn't help but smile at her positive attitude, even in those situations. Yeah, it is. You could tell just in that trailer that they were really well acted. Extremely well acted. The writing seemed good. The interactions were normal. They weren't like awkward or weird. Not based off the age gap, but like awkward and weird because the writing is trash. I didn't notice that at all. The way they played off each other and the chemistry, not only between the couples, but between the friends too, was brilliant. Bingeability, 9 out of 10. There you go. Repeatability, 8 out of 10. This rating is out of delicious cupcakes. That's amazing. That's so funny. Great to watch. Falls higher on my list, but not the absolute top. For me, the intensity of the angst and the roller coaster of emotions shifted this down a little bit, only because of my tastes and preferences. Yeah, if you're not into fantasy, you're probably not going to enjoy it, but you'll find things you enjoy about it. I would argue you should definitely get into fantasy, because that is a wonderful genre. You get to escape completely. Like, you know, dramas are great. Sometimes it hits a little close to home, but I don't know. Fantasies are just nice because it takes you away from normal life and lets you escape a little bit easier into the genre, or excuse me, the medium. That's the word I was looking for. All right, let's hop into the final video of the day. It is, you guessed it, Goblin. Goblin and the Grim Reaper bromance. It is a, let's see. It is an edit, so this should be interesting to see what scenes were pulled and put together, all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and jump in. It's like a break of reality. Exactly. Fantasy is like a break of reality. You get to just plug in and forget what's going on. Hopefully, you know, it kind of gets everything out of your mind. You're just thinking about this world, being in the world, etc. Really nice experience. That's why people love a good book. You're reading, puts you in it. You imagine yourself in the story via, you know, whoever's point of view it is. It is a great way to escape. You know, that's why people like video games. That's why people like reading books. That's why people like, you know, watching movies, going to plays. It is a way to escape the day-to-day grind. Which is what you should do this weekend, I think. You know, put on a terrifying movie that you haven't seen or something like that. You know, really leave yourself. No, I watched the original Halloween with who was in that? That was oh gosh. Why is her name escaping me? The original Halloween had, oh no, what is her name? Oh geez. I don't know why I'm having trouble today. Oh, weird. Google. If you Google anything today, this isn't an ad for Google, but if you Google anything today, and you type in Halloween, bats will fly across the browser if you're on like desktop. I have no idea about mobile, but that literally just happened. That was weird. That was so strange. Let me pull that up actually. That's kind of funny. So I typed it in, right? Let me go ahead and refresh. You can see the bats. Come on. Where are you? Do it again. Oh, there they go. That's kind of cool. Jamie Lee Curtis. Thank you, Rocco Kitty. Yes, Jamie Lee Curtis. Boy, that was kind of neat. I like that. Way to go, Google, for that specifically. I usually don't use Google, but that was pretty cool. Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis. My first time seeing that film ever, the original 1978 film, it was very much reminiscent of the original Evil Dead. It felt like an indie movie, low budget, original Scream Queen. Yeah, very true. Jamie Lee Curtis in it, I thought was great. I thought the overall overall feel of it was good. I don't think it lived up to how scary I thought it would be. It just didn't hit on that level. I don't know why. Maybe because it was very indie, low budget. It just didn't quite get there for me. Old much. Yeah, wow, it's got a 96 on Rotten Tomatoes. 90% fan score. It's good, but I don't know. Like I said, for me personally, no horror film has ever been great. They've been good, but they haven't been great. Closest thing for me to that is Evil Dead 2, which was low budget as well. I don't know. I saw a more recent Halloween, like a total remake. Like they did more of the story of the beginning of Michael Myers, like as a kid and whatnot. It was so good. It was so good. What year was that? That was oh gosh, what year was this? It was 19. Was it 82? No, I think it was more recent than that. I think it was 2007, maybe? No. Dang. Hold on. Let me Google this. I'm more scared of people than ghosts or monsters. Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. I think Freddy Krueger was more terrifying, honestly. That whole Freddy versus Jason thing. I think Freddy Krueger was terrifying. I remember watching that when I was younger and just being terrified to go to sleep. That was probably one I regret watching so young. Big scaredy cats, so loud noises startle me. Yeah, same. If it's anything in a movie that's even remotely close to a jump scare, I will jump. That is a proven fact every time. Jace's cat. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was. I'm trying to figure out what this thing was. It was, let's see. Might be this. No. What would I call this? I would call this. Oh, somebody Googled it. That's hilarious. Is it 2007? No. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I got it. Yeah. Portrayal of Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's horror remake Halloween 2007. I think that was a much more excellent, well done, terrifying movie. Showed him as a kid, like killing his family and whatnot. Oh, it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. I think it was really well done. Rob Zombie did a great job with this movie. An incredible job with this movie. Follows him as a kid, institutionalized in an asylum, breaking out. Wonderful. Working with Carpenter's advice to make the film his own, Zombie chose to develop the film as both an origin story and a remake, allowing for more original content than simply refilming the same scenes. Right. Received generally negative reviews from critics. Oof. Really? I thought it was actually better. Maybe I just didn't get, the original. Critical response. Here we go. Received a 28% approval rating. Ouch. 4.4 out of 10. Rob Zombie doesn't bring many new ideas to the table, making it another bloody disappointment for fans of the franchise. Well, it's a remake of the original. Like, it's not supposed to be super original. Like, it's supposed to somewhat get there. But obviously, it was enough of a change where you got to see origin story, got to see him older. Like, it was a full, almost life story, as opposed to just going into it immediately, you know, with Jamie Lee Curtis. Metacritic, 47 out of 100. Peter, San Francisco Chronicle, felt Zombie was successful in both putting his own spin on it, right, while at the same time paying tribute. I thought it was a great tribute. Zombie managed to make Michael Myers almost sympathetic as a child, but that the last third of the film felt more like a montage of scenes with Halloween slipping into slasher film logic. Yeah, I think it did make Michael kind of sympathetic a little bit as a kid, and then you felt none of that towards the end. So I think it was a great ride. Like, you're just like, oh, Michael, he's being tortured and stuff. And then you're just like, oh, gosh, what is he doing? Like, it got to a point where you're just like, ooh, no, he's gone too far. It was a beautiful little, like, you know, turn of events. I thought it was nice. Village Voice disagreed, feeling that Halloween may have placed too much emphasis on providing sympathy for Michael Myers, but it succeeded in deepening Carpenter's vision without rooting out its fear. I don't know. I like the fact that it makes you feel sympathetic and then just makes you instantly regret it. Like, you feel sympathetic and then you're like, I shouldn't be feeling this. And it makes you change completely. I think it was brilliantly done. Anyway, yeah, I thought the childhood scenes at the beginning were amazing. Amazing. It added so much more context to why Michael Myers was like that. But anyway, I feel like some horror movies are confusing, which takes off the scariness at times. Yeah, that's true. A lot of them suffer from pretty bad writing. I don't know why. They just fall on the same tropes a lot of the times. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the last video. A little sidetrack there. Goblin and the Grim Reaper bromance. Let's go ahead and hop into it. Oh, you know what? Let me make these subtitles a little bigger. They're pretty small. Oh, no, I can't. Can I? Oh, they're already off. It's part of the video. Got it. Okay. Well, we'll deal with it.
진짜? 네가 뭘 했든 난 한결같이 네가 싫거든. 나도 사랑.
They're having this moment, and then that happens.
내 이동! 급한 대로 안겨볼래? 뭐 그렇게까지 싫으면요. 매우 상스러운 가슴이었고. 깨비반스는 더러워요. 냄새나고 더러워요. 경고했다. 도대체 반스에 뭔 짓을 했길래? 아니야. 용서해줘. 오, 뭐야? 나 몰래 연습했어. 컨디션 좋아 보인다. 죽음을 찾지 말라. 죽음이 당신을 찾을 것이니. 같은 걸로.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. You know what's amazing about their back and forth, their banter? I literally felt like it was an outtake. Was it an outtake? Like all of these are feeling like outtakes, and the fact that it's actually part of the show is unbelievable. Like it feels like it's not acting.
계산 도와드릴게요.
계산 돕는다는데 저자는 안 돕겠습니다. 저자의 친구 이 집에 놀러 잘 가고. 전화할게. 나 전화 없잖아. 그래서 한 말이야.
다시 더 바짝 붙어.
전생에 살인자였을지도 모르는 저승사자.
지는 뭐 길 가는 개미 한 마리 안 죽여서 지금 이렇게 벌 받고 있나 봐.
매번 느끼는 거지만 그 모자는 정말 좋은 기획이야. 왕자들 마지막 가는 길에 우스워 보이기.
It's so fucking funny, huh?
정확해. 드디어 우리에게 우정.
The editing's great.
이거 무슨 뜻이야? 내가 침대에서 잘 터이니 내 걱정은 말고 소파에서 편히 자도록 해. 매우 상스러운 가수를 썼군. 여전히.
다녀왔습니다.
색사기.
빨리 안 갖다 놔. 국제적 분쟁 일어나기 전에 빨리 갖다 놔.
Oh my gosh.
그래, 가자.
지금 화나면 되게 무서워.
드디어 내 집으로 돌아왔군.
내 집이야. 아직 렌트 10년 남았어.
썰어갈 사람. 자신 없으면 말고. 와, 진짜 과도하다. 끝방삼촌 묶읍시다. 도전. 말로. 나봐. 아이다. 어찌 저런 성품으로.
잘 가고 몸 건강히 영영 오지 말고.
너나 잘 가. 너 나랑 안 친하잖아. 나가 빨리 내 집에서. 영영 다시 오지 말고. 에이 삼촌 왜?
잘 왔어. 정말 잘 왔어.
물은 거지? 반지 껴봐. 어떻게 되나 보자.
오지 마. 오지 말라고.
선아. 그래서 지금 너 사랑받고 있는 것이. 네가 누구든 한 대만 맞자.
왜 애한테 그래?
Just
이분은
once.
아무 죄가 없으셔.
이분? 야, 나 죽으라고 응원하는 게 그게 우정이야?
이봐, 너 좋아 지금. 안 죽어서. 원하지 않아.
Product placement.
진짜 우정이 생겨버렸군.
나 5,000원만 돈 갚게. 야, 무슨 짓이야 이게? 너 하나.
역시 너에겐 아무것도 보이지 않는군. 그저 따뜻할 뿐.
아, 깍지 아파. 내 흙이 들어가기 전에 절대 안 돼. 내 누이한테서 떨어져. 물 있으면 확 끼얹는 건데.
너 진짜 그냥 무로 돌아가는 거 심사숙고 해볼 생각 없냐? 농담한 건데 그렇게 정색하면 내가 뭐가 돼? 일 거야. 네 이름이
He looks so happy with himself.
어. 왜?
네 이름은 되게 멋있다.
미친 거야? 고기 사기. 요.
So clearly asking for money is like a trope that keeps coming back. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it some love like I am doing right there. That was funny. That was absolutely funny. Excellent. Excellent edit. Go check out the channel. I'm sure they have many more great videos as well. Unbelievable. That was so cool. That was really well done. I had no idea the banter was that good. Like I said, it felt like they were outtakes, like blooper reel stuff, like not kept into the show. Especially that one scene, I was just like, are they just talking to each other normally? Is this part of it? Like, that was unbelievable. Now I want to watch the series. I bet. Yeah, it does look very good. It's always interesting watching some of these edits, original trailer, etc. You get kind of whatever the editor wants the show to look like or feel like, tone-wise. It felt very dark and drama-filled and all that stuff. And then you see an edit like this, and it completely turns it on its head. And you're like, oh, it's got this too. This is like a hilarious buddy-buddy show as well. It's a great show. I had tears of laughter and tears of sorrow. That is a good show. Anything that can make sure you have all the different emotions is a good thing. Happy, sad, angry. I don't know if this will make you angry, but maybe angry at a character or frustrated at least. That's pretty amazing. If you can be laughing in a show because of a show and then crying because of that same show, that's pretty awesome. It had it all. I bet. That's wonderful. Truly an epic, I would say. Very much so an epic. Let's go ahead and bring up this last article that I have. The most lovable Grim Reaper, the best bromance. I thought Uncle would kick him out of the house, kick him out in an instance, but they're strangely good together. Are you two really a team? No, it's a misunderstanding. That scene was very funny. He was talking, he was going to get closer to talk to him. Get closer. What are you doing? What? Why? That was funny. This post has many video clips, so it's best to make sure you have Wi-Fi. Well, I do. Also, this has spoilers, so you should have watched until episode 12 to continue. Just a heads up. Too close. What kind of friendship lasts less than 5 minutes? The Goblin and the Grim Reaper may have been bachelors living their lonely lives before, but once they moved in with another K-drama forced cohabitation trope for the win, life seemed to have become much more interesting. The Goblin is hot-tempered. The Reaper is cold, calm. Even their powers, fire and ice, directly reflect. Actually, I would say the Goblin seems cold and calm. The Reaper seems... Oh, I don't know if I see that. That one critique was kind of like, I don't know if this actor quite nailed that. And I'm kind of seeing it. I mean, a little cold, but probably not as cold as they were expecting. Even their powers, fire and ice, directly reflect this contrasting aspect. Despite this, it seems that these two are so well matched and complementary in their personalities, level of maturity, tech skills. Suddenly found themselves needing to learn together how to live in the present. It must be 4 digits, right? They usually press the star sign at the end. Trying to figure out what the heck's going on. What should one do to achieve the best drama bromance? Make yourself at home. I am his friend. I will play with you during dinner. Meal times got more exciting and become fun mini battles. What is happening there? I was trying to put it on you. What? I thought we agreed on being rude. This, that, hey, and you. What? Put your knife down first. Unfortunately, some of those images were gone. I'll exchange fashion tips with you. No matter how tired he was, the Grim Reaper patiently entertained the Goblin's insecure fashion show. That was funny. That was very funny. Does this book go with my outfit? I think she'll keep on summoning me. I want to look intelligent and perfect whenever she does. Just constantly dressed to the nines to impress and woo somebody. That'd be hilarious. Obviously, when we, go on dates and whatnot, we always try to look our best and dress up a little bit. Could you imagine doing that 24/7? Because you could be on a date in an instant. Like, that would be nuts. I want to look like I listen to everything from classic to pop. Kids these days listen to music through files. Right. That's a record. That's hilarious. Think of it as the outfit I'll wear when I leave this place. You look great. You're shining. It's the best. Then this must be bad. Get out. Not the book. Instead of a purse, now it's the book matching. Yeah, exactly. Makes you look funny when... Wait, what? Makes you look funny when take away the dead. Don't look for death. Death will find you. That's the idea behind this hat. The dead recognize me only when I wear this. It hides me from humans. Oh. I'm glad that you become invisible to the humans' eyes. It's embarrassing to watch. That's funny. That is funny. Reaper is someone who should stop watching dramas to help with the goblins' experiments. For all the drama lovers out there, we know this is a feat in itself. Yeah, I'm busy. Then come with me. It had better be important enough to stay close or you're dead. That's what I'm trying to check. My fate. She did something even the Grim Reaper finds strange. Yeah, that's funny. It's like, what do you want? I'm watching my stories. Leave me alone. That's hilarious. I'm sure we've all been in one of those moments where we're really into something, whether it's a video game, we don't want to stop. Maybe it's an online game and we can't pause it, or it's a story you're really into, a book, etc. You don't want to put it down. I am sure we have all been in that spot. I'll give you and your bride some space. You must be working, because he's got the hat on. I am, but I don't know what you're doing. Didn't you learn to pay attention when a goblin talks seriously? Be careful, I might want to meddle with your life and death too. No Grim Reaper can take a girl who wants to marry a goblin. Looks like I'm the bad guy here. Your love spat's still ongoing. I hope you reach a happy conclusion. I feel very uncomfortable. I can hear everything, you cheesy goblin. I can hear everything. That's funny. That look. That look is funny. Like, caught. Dang it. Help you with your rescue mission, even though it's really unnecessary, but we can look cool together. Yeah, exactly. The slow-mo scene. Funny is, it kind of reminds me of the green light on the other end of the lake in the Great Gatsby for some reason. Initially, when I saw this, I'm like reaching out. In my mind, at least. And two beings who do not even need to walk from place to place. These two are really a childish pair made in limbo. Happy New Year. They make these things sound normal and not at all dangerous, not normal at all. Right. I will say sorry to you, even though the goblin has never apologized to anyone. He was actually sincere when he felt bad for hurting the Reaper's feelings. Active responsibility, willingness to become better. People call it apology. I apologize for the slip of my tongue. Grim Reaper just sitting there. I don't care what you did or who you were in the previous life. Really? Yes. No matter what you did, I'll hate you just the same. That's an interesting apology. I love their interactions with each other. The full scene is awesome. What you saw was just a little bit of the scene, I bet. Or respect your human butler. He must be my uncle's best friend. Are you throwing him at a party before he goes abroad? Take care, never come back. Be happy for a long time. Stay until you die. Get out of my house, never come back. Cook with you. Oh my gosh, them going shopping together? Good grief. I'm sure that's funny. Learn to use a smartphone with you. That is so good. You take the blue one. Do you like it? He's overly excited right now. He's never seen such a thing before. I'm okay. Just explain to this guy who's never seen it before. He's right. You can just explain it to me. If you're in such a hurry, you should have bought it 300 years ago. You wanted to talk face to face. Look at how he's holding it. Oh my gosh. The only thing that would show his age more is if he went like this. Was holding it like this. Oh my gosh. And yes, that was a product placement. Move what away? Your hand. Move your hand away from your face. Oh my gosh. Like this? Like this? Oh no. And texting with one finger. Oh my gosh. Oh. What do I do with you? That's funny. I'm getting a call. Hello? You're holding the phone upside down. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Put in the earphones. Yes, I'm holding it far away from my ear. Let's hang up. I'm hanging up for you. Oh my gosh. These interactions with the technology would be my favorite part, I think. There's something quite, I don't know, it's just the funniest to me. When someone who doesn't understand technology is trying to figure it out. To me, it's just comedy gold. Was a can of beer really enough for you to be like this? What are you doing? You're bothering me. She won't summon me, so I can't find her. I don't know where she is. Looking despaired. Just call her. She must have a phone, right? Good point. Goblin is anxious now that Yoon can see his sword and may be able to kill him. You won't die without a stomach. You just can't eat. You'll die when your bride pulls out the sword. So you want me to die? That was all we talked about. What's new? Am I not worth the air I breathe? Must I die? Are you about to cry? I'm trying hard not to. That got me. Should I just move out? That's a good interaction. I like that. That is very funny. That's me with a computer. Can't type without looking at the keyboard. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. I don't know. I think I go from not looking at it to looking at it just to make sure I'm on the right keys. And then I just go back to not looking at it. Then I glance at. I do glances, I guess. Unless it's like a really good keyboard. What really helps me is the fact that the little bumps on the F and the J key, just making sure I always know where I am. Like, I barely move my pointer fingers from the F and the J. After Yoon moved in, Goblin had to bunk with the Reaper for the first night before her room was ready. Oh, gosh. Then I'll take the couch. Don't talk to me either. Have you seen the deity? Are you seeing the Almighty right now? Oh, gosh. We've all been through that with sleepovers. I told you not to talk to me. If he'd let me see his face, at least I would be able to resent him. He forbids you from hurting even a passing butterfly. Is it too hard for you? If the Almighty only hands you hardships you can handle, I think he thought too highly of me. Don't worry, I won't cry in your arms. Oh my gosh, those late night thoughts just verbalized. Goblin was flustered because Yoon had agreed to pull out his sword to end his life, so he went looking for company at the Reaper's tea shop. What's going on? Are you dead? I'm doing a rehearsal. Do you have any alcohol? She says she'll pull out the sword. When she saw me, she said she loved me and that she wanted to marry me. You know how troubled I was? You don't know anything. There's no reason for her not to like me. Oh, gosh. Of course there is. What about the age difference? They even addressed it in the show. That's funny. When she goes to college, young and handsome men will line up for her. So what if I'm 900 years old? Why do you keep faking your age? You're 939. Oh, that's funny. That's so funny. At that point, 39, 38 really doesn't matter. It's actually 938 because I was born earlier in the year. Just looking at him. This is better than drinking. She keeps making me want to live. Don't kid yourself. You were living just fine when she wasn't around. Was I? Then why can't I remember any of those days? Ooh. Ooh. That's good. That's really good. Damn. You might as well have said, was there happiness? Was I happy before her or whatever? Dang, that was a nice interaction. I like that dialogue. That was beautiful. Very nice. Wow. Nice comeback indeed. That was very well done. Good grief. That was lovely. That looks like a great show. Wonder what this has on MDL. Just going to look that up real quick. Probably high. .8 out of 10 from 130,000 users. Oh my gosh. 8.8. That is so good. 67% of people completed the series. 4.2% dropped out of it. 20% plan to watch it. It's pretty low dropout. That is a solid rating for MDL. 8.8. That's about as high as it gets, probably. Or close to it. That's amazing. It sounds lovely. If you're hesitating to watch this at all, just throw out your reservations and watch it. Every moment of it indeed shined. Goblin is a great drama. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a great rating. Let's see if we can find a bad one. Oh, here we go. Overrated. Although they gave the acting a 9 and the music an 8. I feel compelled to write a review for Goblin because I'm finding all the perfect 10s to be misleading. I can be completely and confounding, honest, etc. Let me just first say the best thing about Goblin is the acting. Cast is fantastic. Worst is the age gap. I know most people talk about the age of actors. However, the issue to those of us that have a problem with the age isn't the actors, it's the characters. So is it just the age gap that this person finds weird? There are many times when the relationship between the two leads are more like father and daughter. She speaks to him like a father figure, and he speaks to her as a child. It's off-putting when it becomes clear that he has fallen for this high school girl. Part of me believes that part of Kim was written for a younger man. I mean, since most people said, most people said the bromance was better than the romance, so that's not exactly surprising. Seems like a proper critique. The writing was inconsistent. It was great in some parts, just passable in others. Toward the end, it almost turned into a melodramatic schlock. Goblin works best as a bromance. There you go. Scenes between Goblin, Reaper, and the male humans were precious golden nuggets to hold on to. till the next 2 or 3 of them were in a scene together. Had the writers held on to that chemistry and nourished it, Goblin would have been much better. Interesting. All right, so what's this person say? Writing, okay. Story arc. No guts to go deeper. Didn't care for the romance. Didn't care much about the age difference due to the supernatural part of it. Right. Non-romance relationships were great. Over-the-top product placement. At one point, it looked like Subway was about to save the world, one sandwich at a time. And the wardrobe of poor little female lead. I just wonder how she managed to fit all those clothes and such little luggages and how she can afford them. Love how they presented Quebec at first, but I got mad that they didn't try to be accurate as to how the city looked at this time of year. Interesting. Subway, gonna save the world. Now I'm gonna be part of the 20% on planning to watch it. That's funny. Girl was the one who said they'd want to right. I'm pretty sure the bromance is what saves the romance. Seems like it. That seems to be the overall opinion here, even of the critiques, even of the people who liked it. So yeah, that's very interesting. It's very interesting. Usually it's the other way around, or the bromance is like, it's okay. But seems to be the star of the show, or at least stole the show. Pretty cool. Good to see. Good to see, proper bros represented. Good bro relationship there. That's funny. And the fact that it seemed like outtakes and stuff is just crazy to me. But anyway. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. This trip down Goblin Way. Lots of Goblin videos. 3 of them, to be exact. But it was very funny. Very interesting. I hope you enjoyed it. Learning about it if you hadn't seen it. If you had seen it, kind of a refresher. And then all of a sudden you're back into it. You're watching it again. Maybe it's your comfort show. I don't know. Let me know down below in the comments. The Mario Brothers. Oh my gosh. You know what? I actually liked the Mario Brothers movie, the Super Mario Brothers movie, just because I was a kid. Let's be honest. Looking back on it, it's not that great. But I have a nostalgia for it. Anyway, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching live on YouTube right now. Follow the Twitch channel as well if you want to see live and hang out and talk in the chat, be part of the stream. Absolutely. If you join the Discord, be sure to join the Discord. You get actually a notification that tells you I'm live with a handy link to the Twitch channel, so you don't have to remember it or, save it anywhere. You can literally just do that, or you could just have the Twitch app downloaded and wait on a notification. That works too. But join the Discord, join the community, have fun meeting people and all that good stuff. It's super welcoming. You'll notice it right off the bat. As soon as you join, everyone's welcoming you. It's great. Check out the winter collection of merch. It's available right now, as you saw a plethora of it during this stream. Members save 15% on every order. Ships worldwide. That's no joke. It ships worldwide. What am I missing? What did I forget? Oh, if you'd like to request your own videos and you want them to be on stream, you can do so. ToddReacts.com. It's available. The season and series tiers are how you will request it. Thank you very much, Andy. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Hope you have a great weekend as well. To all of you, thank you for joining. If you joined live, I appreciate it. If you didn't talk, but you're still here hanging out, watching, I appreciate you as well. I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks for staying to the end. Appreciate that. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you're going out to party for Halloween, I hope you're safe. I hope you have fun, all that good stuff. Let us know your costumes in the Discord. That'd be awesome. That'd be very cool. Maybe it'll give people good ideas, It's definitely a weekend. You got to make sure you figure out your costume like yesterday. But yeah, have fun. Be safe. Do something fun. Doesn't have to be crazy. You can stay inside, watch a terrifying movie, get scared a little. Not too scared, but scared a little, I guess. And I shall see you all on Monday. Take care. Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, bye-bye.